Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Creative Tavern. My name is Christopher Lee. I am a concept artist. Been in the industry for about 10 years, worked with companies such as Walt Disney Imagineering as well as Universal Studios Creative. And I'm here today with my buddy Michael Welker. Say hello, Michael.
Hello, everybody. My name is Michael O. Wilker. I'm a software developer, writer, and creative producer, also from the theme park industry, which is where I met Chris and got to work with him on several big projects. But recently we found ourselves in between big theme park projects and said, hey, why don't you and I put our heads together and do something just the two of us? Let's do our own creative project. Took us a while to figure out what that was going to be. Long story short, we decided, hey, let's make a video game. Neither of us have ever done that before. Can't be that hard, right?
Yeah, not hard
Uh,
at all. Very quick. It's a quick exercise.
Easy peasy. We'll just knock this out real quick.
Yeah.
5 to 6 months later, we are barreling down the road towards the finish line here with only about 3 more streams to go before we are completed with this prototype game. And yeah, so that's where we are right now. Where you're watching us, though, on the Creative Tavern, that kind of came to be because we said, hey, let's not just make this video game, but let's also broadcast ourselves doing this. Let people have a window into our creative design process and come on this journey with us.
Hmm.
And so that's part of the reason the Creative Tavern came to be. But to tell you the full story, I'm going to hand it back to Chris.
Yeah, thank you, Michael. So the Creative Tavern was created for me, for Michael, for anyone who is creative. Just a platform for everyone who is creative again to just come together and share our experiences because the design journey is very, very tough. It's very, very hard. Sometimes we hit a roadblock and we actually need another set of eyes to take a look at our work and be like, oh yeah, if you do this instead or if you do that instead, when I did this, I did it this way. Maybe that'll help. Just help each other out because yeah, this design journey, if you go on by yourself, it's pretty tough. And another reason why Michael and I work so well together is I possess a certain skill that Michael doesn't have, and Michael possesses a skill that I don't have. And when our powers combine, we create a video game. And yeah, we said we said I was like, oh yeah, we'll just make a rail shooter. It can't be that hard. It's like, oh god, it's hard, it's tough, man. But luckily, we have amazing people such as Captain Blue Blue, Gentleman Heavy, Coley Butt, everyone who's been in our chat, been in our community, has given us nothing but support, and we in turn will want to give you guys support, and also give everyone the opportunity to share some of their creation, and just to let you guys know that we do have a Discord, and so every Sunday we take a look at your work if you decide to put it on there. It doesn't have to be art. It could be, it could be writing. It could be music. It could be anything at all that is creative. So, welcome to the Creative Tavern. We're really, really happy to have you here. Yeah, Michael, did I miss anything?
Uh, I don't think so. I think that about sums it up.
Awesome, awesome. And today we have Totoro. Toto says glad to be here. So happy to have you in the chat, Totoro. Yeah. And
Welcome in.
yes, welcome, welcome. And today is Wednesday, and so Wednesday is Michael's day. And I'm very, very excited to see what Michael has done for. I mean, we only have like again two Wednesdays left, including this one, this
Hmm.
Wednesday and your next Wednesday, and I have
Hmm.
one Sunday left, I believe. And then we'll probably push out the game out probably at the beginning week of October. So we're very, very excited uh, to have you play test our game. But for today, let's take a look at what Michael has done. I'm gonna hand it over to you, Michael.
Sure. Yeah, I think one way to like for us to maybe look at it is I think we'll be done with the game by the end of the month, but it's going to take another couple of days for us to package it together to be
Mm,
able to like actually share it with folks.
sure, sure.
Um, but yeah, so the plan up to this point, I've been racing to try to complete the levels, the basically the 5 scenes that we have. Each one is like a stage or a level in the game. But Chris and I, coming from the theme park industry, usually we break down rides and attractions into scenes. And our video game has 5 scenes.
Mm.
and we've already completed scenes 1, 2, and 3. We have scenes 4 and 5 left to do. And my goal last Wednesday was by this Wednesday, I would have 2 things done. Another stage. I wasn't sure if I was going to do scene 4 or scene 5. I ended up doing scene 4.
Hmm.
And the other thing that I was going to have done was the stage progression screen,
Oh, nice.
which is basically that screen where in between each level, it kind of gives you a mission brief of like, hey, here's the mission, here's what you're going to be doing. You're on mission, 2 of 5, so you can see that information. Yeah, so I did
Nice.
both those things, and we'll see them in action right now.
Nice. Very
And
excited. I haven't seen it yet,
yeah,
so this will be my first time as well.
I'm gonna just do a little setup here and switch my OBS over to Unity. Okie dokie. So, what I think I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna hit play, and we're gonna play this. Um, and I'll talk you through a little bit of it as we go. But and then after it kind of plays through, then I'll play it again, and kind of talk a little bit more about it. And I'm gonna cheat so I don't embarrass myself because I've actually gotten to the game to a point where um, I die sometimes when I'm playing. So I'm just
Haha.
gonna make myself invincible. That
Yeah.
way we can see the whole thing.
Oh, that's
Um,
you actually programmed death state then, because before I've never died
yes,
yet. Okay, that's cool.
yeah. Uh, I'll show you that, but I'll show you that a little bit later. I don't want
Sure,
to show you
sure, sure,
that
sure.
now because
Yeah.
I don't want to keep restarting the level. I want to
Right.
show you the whole thing,
Yeah.
and then I'll show you some other cool stuff, including uh, dying. So,
Nice.
without further ado, here we go. Scene 4. I
Let's
present to you,
go.
as long as nothing is broken. Oh, so here's our screen. Here's our progress, our stage selection screen. So
Nice.
you can see it's kind of filling out the mission here. Mission is the quarry interior. This is it. We're close now. They're all swarming into the interior. Looks like they're headed for the central core. Punch your way through into that core. Neutralize all hostiles on your way. There's got to be a reason they are all concentrating here. Find out why and put a stop to them. And our objective is get to the core.
Nice.
And you can see we've got mission complete, mission complete, mission complete for 1, 2, and 3, and then we're currently on 4, so it's like pulsing green. But mission 5 is still locked.
Nice.
And we're gonna press RMB to start. Um, actually, is it better if I maximize this? If I make this bigger, should I do that
Uh,
before we start?
uh, sure, sure.
Does it
Let's
matter?
try it. Actually,
Is this better?
yeah, let's just do it this way. And if we want to see it bigger, we'll do it bigger,
Okay.
later. Yeah.
All right. Here we go.
Oh, cool. Oh, cool. Oh, awesome. Oh, you even got the damage state. Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So I added the HUD effect so that way when we're taking damage, you can see it's populating on the screen.
Nice.
There are a couple of bugs with that, which I can talk about later. But oh man, see, this is why I had to put
Oh,
invincibility on
oh
because
my gosh.
look at my shield health at the top, like flashing red, like you're at critical health. Oh, what's with this door?
Oh,
Oh,
oh, oh,
hey,
oh,
look at
oh,
that.
oh, oh, that's cool. That's awesome.
You can shoot these panels and the door's
Oh,
open.
oh, that's
Oh,
great.
and there's my goodness, just flying on the
Whoa.
side of that. Oof,
Oh, nice.
what's going on up
Whoa.
here?
Oh, yeah. Nice barrel roll.
Oh, oh. Ugh. Stop shooting me in the ass.
Whoa. Oh, good job, man. That's awesome.
Thanks.
Oh, I like that transition of the blue grid. That means you're
Oh,
at full
thanks.
health.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yes, exactly. So you'll
Nice.
notice like when these guys shoot me a bunch and then I'm gonna take them out. Oh, let me open up this door. Die, you little punks. And now if you watch my shield at the top, when it recharges all the way to full, you
Uh-huh.
get that nice little pulse, boop, letting you know your shield's back.
Nice. Very cool.
Oh, and there's collision damage on these doors too. So if I don't open it,
Zzz.
bam.
Nice. Very cool. Oh, yeah, nice.
Oh, I also changed the missiles. I made them shoot faster and more.
Oh,
So these guys
perfect.
are pretty
That sounds,
intense now.
that feels so much better.
Glad you like that.
That feels really good.
So it definitely makes those missile bots much more of a threat. And
Yeah.
you can also only open like a half door if you want. You can like fly over the one that you got opened.
Uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh.
And one thing
Uh,
you may notice with the spider drones is they now have this behavior where oh shit, oh, there we go. I call it sentry mode. Or actually, let me talk about that a little bit later. You can see now we've got our
oh,
laser
laser.
drones.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, look at
Uh,
them just melt that shield.
Holy cow.
Yeah,
They're
I
just
wanted these
locked
guys.
onto you.
Yep. Yeah, these guys don't miss at all. You really need to take them out like right away.
Holy cow.
Otherwise, they're going to melt you. But what I was saying is the spider drones now have something called sentry mode, which basically means you can just stick them down somewhere and
Uh-huh.
they'll kind of watch. And then as soon as the player gets within range, they lock. Their head spins around. They lock onto him and start shooting him.
Oh, nice.
And I also added some code too that makes the outline not appear until you get within that like range.
Yeah.
Um, because one of the bugs that we had from before was you could see the outline way in the distance, so you would know like, oh
Oh,
man, I guess there's going to be drones like 10 miles from now.
right.
Um, so I fixed that, and so now you're only going to see it, excuse me, when you get close. So yeah, these guys can start to
I
overwhelm you
like it.
pretty quickly.
I like it a lot. Oh boy. Yeah, you'll. Huh. I think for version 2, we should have like health packs so that you don't die.
Yeah, so the and I can show you a little bit more about the health system a little bit later. Oh, and then this I thought was kind of fun. There's like if you open those doors, there's actually drones back there who'll shoot you.
That's awesome.
It's like, oh, I gotta open this door. I'm like, oh God, some of them have drones behind them. Nope, that one's empty. Oh, not going to that one. Are we going over here? Going that? Oh, that one's got a drone behind it. Oh, don't want to go that way.
Oh jeez.
All right,
Holy
here we
cow, this
go.
this level is huge.
Yeah, it's pretty long.
Oh, that's great.
It's like the door gauntlet. Like, oh no.
Oh jeez. Oh jeez. Oh jeez. It's like get smart. Oh god. Oh jeez.
Oh
Oh,
God.
here we go. Here we go.
Look at all these.
Oh man. Oh
Oh
man.
no.
Oh, there's the avatar. Oh shit. Oh my gosh. Wow.
That's
Oh,
the end of the
nice.
level.
Nice.
And here's our score screen. Yeah, look at all those drones. 64. And accuracy is still broken. Though I did fix accuracy when the player dies, it also goes to a screen like this and says like, hey, mission failed. But hey, here's how you did. Here's the score that you got. And that
Yeah.
accuracy does work. I don't know why this one doesn't. That's a bug I gotta
Oh.
fix. But now the cool thing is, so we finished that level, and so now it says, press left mouse button to continue. So if I
Mm-hmm.
do, now it goes back to the stage
Oh, sweet.
progression screen, and you can see now we're on mission 5. It's like the final battle.
Nice.
Nice, this is it. We've made it to the core. Let's. Whoa, wait a minute. Readings are. Looks like we've got something big up ahead. Proceed with caution. Objective: neutralize all hostiles in the core. Now we can press
Nice.
RB to start. And
Seems
there's nothing here yet.
sure.
This is just the raw loaded in thing. But
Sure.
there you go. That's
That's
scene
cool, man.
4.
That's cool. Totoro says, "Oh, get smart. Did you watch the old one, Chris?" Yes, yes, I did. I watched it on Nick at Night, starting at 8 p.m. every single day. It was one of those shows that kept me busy when I was a elementary school kid, and I watched a lot of Get Smart, Bewitched, I Love Lucy, and all those classics. And Get Smart was one of my favorite ones. Yeah.
Nice. There you go. Yeah,
So
so you can see with these. Or yep, go ahead.
okay. So a few questions.
Sure.
How is this level being lit right now?
It's just the default, yeah, the default directional light. It just lights through the tunnels. But if we want the tunnels to be dark, we just have to put something on the outside to block the sun.
Do you mind doing that really quick? I'm curious.
Sure.
If that's a if you could do that really quick, or just turn off the
Uh,
directional light.
Turning off the directional light here. I'll do that just to show you, but it does this thing. It creates this weird sepia
Oh,
tone thing.
okay, okay.
So I don't think that's the right way to do it. I think if you do something like this, this should be significantly darker. Not
mm,
completely though, because it's not. I guess if I actually if I reduce the intensity all the way down, I wonder what that does. It's darker still. Yeah, I don't
mm.
know how to like get to a point where you're like, all right, actually there might be a way to get like nighttime mode, mixed baked.
Do you go color black?
Yeah, sure, let's try. Neither of those seem to matter.
That is so weird.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Unity's lighting system, that's just what it does.
Yeah. Okay, I'll figure it out. Yeah, I was just curious. How it's being lit.
Yeah, I don't have any other lights in here other than the default one. But yeah, if we can put, get some like legit tunnel lighting like that, that would be really cool.
Yeah. Do you mind really quick just make the directional light upside down instead of pointing down, you point it up?
Sure.
Thanks, man. Hey, Lissy, how are
Uh,
you doing? Welcome to the chat,
that's
man.
0, -90.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see what how
This might
this
be
looks.
too dark now. Let's see. Yeah, I can't
Okay,
see anything now.
no, actually that's perfect. Then I will have control of lighting. I
Oh
could
yeah.
actually do the lit everything
Oh
interior.
man. Good
Gonna
idea. How did you know to do that?
uh
Those
unfortunately I'm
explosions are looking cool.
yeah. I was gonna say unfortunately I actually played around with the lighting and got familiar with it, even though I don't like
Sweet.
playing with Unity stuff. But this is awesome because that means I have the ability to, oh, that's cool. I have the ability to, hide a lot of stuff that
Hell yeah.
we do or do not want to see. Because
Oh man,
darkness
yeah, I can't wait.
in a
Oh,
in a dark ride, darkness is your friend.
totally.
Yeah,
Um,
very cool.
yeah,
Awesome.
great idea. I'm gonna put it back
Yeah,
for
yeah, yeah.
now so I can show you all this stuff. But yeah, that actually, now I'm really excited to see what you end up doing with this because I think it's gonna be, you're gonna have, well, I mean, I gave you, I'm giving you a pretty big level to deal with, but, um, actually, what do I want to do with this? -5? Yeah, there you go. But, yeah, you can kind of see here's the level layout here. We just have like a couple of straightaways.
Uh-huh,
There's
uh-huh.
a little bit of like some curvy stuff going on in here. I tried to use like most of the pieces and recreate a couple of things that we saw in the draft, like this big tunnel scene here, but I didn't have time to like put in a whole bunch of other like drones, this sort of like drone um, swarm cave that we saw from one of the earlier drafts, but then I tried to replicate that way over here with this sort of like this spider drone gauntlet.
Oh, jeez,
There's
man.
just I think there's 60 plus of these guys in here.
That's insane.
Um, and I thought what would be really cool is if in this part there's just so many that you don't even try to kill them.
Mm-hmm.
You just zoom through there, and the player actually does have to kind of like dodge and weave,
Uh-huh.
because if you don't do that, you actually can die in this room.
Oh, damn. That's pretty cool.
Um, Some of the other things that are kind of neat, like the doors, required quite a bit of programming. Like like a third of the time that I spent working on this was just on getting the new door systems to work. So
Mm-hmm,
basically, I
mm-hmm.
programmed these sort of plain doors to be linked with a gate. So like this gate right here is linked with this door. When you
Uh-huh.
pass through this gate, it automatically opens this door. So one of the things you can see over here, where did oh yeah, right here, door and then door action. So I can actually start the door open and then I can close it with the gate. I had a really cool idea to like, it would be neat if you were flying backwards and then as you were, you know, passing through these gates, they could like close on drones that were chasing you and they would all
Mm-hmm.
blow up. But boy, howdy, is getting collision in Unity working frustrating and difficult because Unity has like two different collision systems. They've got a regular collision and they've got trigger collision. And
Regular.
there's
What's
this
the difference?
well, it's complicated. There's this
Oh.
in fact, I can actually maybe even show you this thing. Downloads Unity Collider Matrix. OBS, was that gonna show? Yes. Okay, so what you're seeing
Ooh,
on screen
nice.
here, this, can I maybe move this over a little bit so you can see all that? That's a little bit better, I guess. This is how you get things to collide with each other in Unity. Screenshot courtesy of our friends over at GameDev.tv. This in one of the courses that I took. Unity also has this information on their website, but they made this really nice graphic. If you want to learn how to make video games like I did, you should check out GameDev.tv. We're not sponsored, but
Please
I
sponsor.
yep, we would like to be, and I completely endorse their courses. They're really good. But anyway, so in yellow here, you've got the like regular colliders, which respond to like the physics system and actually detect when like this thing hits this thing, and if there are physics involved, then it would determine like, okay, this thing was moving this fast and weighs this much, and this thing wasn't moving and weighs this, has this much mass, and so that collision should cause this to happen. It does all that. Triggers, on the other hand, still pertain to things that have boxes, like box colliders, that once they become intersecting with each other, a trigger is alerted, and so then like, oh, okay, this trigger, like, these two things are now intersecting. One of them was set to be triggered. Here's what happens when that happens. What's really frustrating are these little pockets that are empty in here, where there's like these empty squares mean that if you have one object that has a kinematic rigid body collider, and a
Mm.
rigid body collider is basically, it's like this component you have to attach that imports physics to the item and says like, okay, this thing has mass, it is affected by gravity, it's going to move, pay attention to this thing in terms of its physics. That's what the rigid body collider basically does. And kinematic just means, okay, so for those physics, don't apply any forces to this object, just detect collisions. And a static collider doesn't have the rigid body, but it does still have a box collider on it, so it can detect collisions. But if you have a static collider and it collides with a rigid body collider that's set to kinematic, nothing
Mm.
happens.
Mm.
And that's so frustrating because there are certain things where, like, the player's ship, I want that to collide with things, but I don't want those things to push the ship around because I need the player to be able to control where the ship is.
Right.
So I have to set that to kinematic, which means this thing should not be affected by the physics forces. I'm going to move it where I think it needs to be when it collides with things. But then that means everything that is going to collide with it has to be rigid body without the kinematic rigid body collider, which means that those other things have to get pushed around by physics, and it's a whole thing in a deal. It's a big pain in the butt,
Woof.
and yeah, it's really frustrating. And maybe I'm just not skilled enough to know, like, oh yeah, just eat a piece of cake. You just gotta do X, Y, and Z, and you'll have no problem. But it's been a big pain for me this like whole time, and there's certain things that I think are just so important to have working, and other things that are a little bit less important. So the less important things I relegated to using triggers, which don't quite work as well. Like some things will like if the game doesn't update fast enough, the thing will be here in in one frame, and then it'll be on the other side of the thing on the other frame, and so it will have a completely bypass that trigger collider, and
Mm.
so then the collision never happens. Um, so that's one of the reasons why if you pay really close attention to when the game is running, you'll actually see some of the drones shooting through the walls. That's why, is because the walls use a trigger collider instead of a regular collision collider. And the trigger colliders are kind of porous, meaning they've got holes in them. Like things can kind of get through sometimes if they're going fast enough. So
Mm.
anyway, off my soapbox about those sorts of things. But as far as the doors are concerned, the gate basically just acts as a sort of trigger that then tells the door, like, hey, the player has triggered me. You need to open. Um, and I've set up, like, in code, I created the animation that, opens and closes the door, and it's smart enough to know, like, the door is already open, so I
Yeah.
can't open it again. And if it is open, well, then we can close it. And in the code too, I've also set like how fast they open or close. So if we feel like these doors open kind of slowly, we want them to open faster, or maybe they're too fast, and it's more intense if they open slowly, so the player's like trying to thread the needle.
Hmm.
We could
Hmm.
do that. But I kind of just, for the purposes of the prototype and the draft, I kind of settled on like, that feels like a pretty good door opening length of
Nice.
time. I want it to be, kind of fast, um, but not so fast that you can't see the doors popping open.
Right.
Um, so those are the auto doors. That's just one of the sets of doors, and there were
Oh,
like two
right.
different sets. You've got the
Hmm.
horizontal ones and the
Hmm.
vertical ones.
Hmm.
But then we also have the panel doors. So these are the doors that glow.
Activates.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The panels glow blue when they are open, and they glow orange when they're closed, and you can shoot them when they're closed to get each panel to open, and they work independently. So when you shoot the panel on the left, it
Hmm.
opens the left hand door. If you shoot the panel on the right, it opens the right hand door. Um, Again, more pain in the ass stuff with the colliders with that, but figured it out enough to get it working. Um, so yeah, so that's all the stuff with the doors, and then I kind of already mentioned with the spider drones, they've got their sentry mode, which allows them to kind of like if we. In fact, actually, if I go to section 1 drones, so go to this very first guy here. What I'll do is move this here. Well, actually, no. I'm gonna hit play, and then I'm just gonna move back into this scene. Oh, actually, I've gotta make this run. So you can see the spider drone here. He's just kind of chilling, hanging out. But once the player gets within range, then
Oh,
he
yep.
turns around, locks on, and it's like
Nice.
continues to shoot him until he's out of range, and then you'll notice like
Oh,
he's not shooting anymore because he's like,
yeah.
okay, the player's far enough away. I'm not gonna bother. Um,
How did you do that? How did you set like a area trigger, or it's like a trigger box that we can't see?
no, actually, this was one of those things that like early on I would never have been able to figure out, but now that I know enough about coding and Unity, that I was actually able to write. It's just a single line of code actually that makes that possible. Let me pop this open and I'll show you. Switch this over here. VS Code. Okay. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba. All right, so in here, this, there. There's a lot of code for the drones.
Yeah.
Here we go. Distance to player. This is the new piece of code. So that's it right there. Or in fact, actually, just this. This is the only one that. Well, I guess no. Actually, it is both of these. So basically, this piece of code right here, this one line, uh, basically takes the position of the drone and the position of the player, draws a vector between the two of them, and
Mm.
then measures the distance of that vector.
Mm.
And vector is just like a straight line between 2 points.
Mhm.
But in
Mhm.
fancy, 3D speak, you call it a vector because you've got your x and your y and your z axis, and when you know all of those and you put two dots in that space, you can draw a line between them, and it's a vector in space. So that's what this line of code does, and then this little chunk of logic here basically says if that distance is less than or equal to 50 like unity units of distance, then I want you to do this stuff. And what
Mm.
this stuff is basically like if you haven't already turned your outline on, Mr. Drone, you need to turn an outline on. That way the player can see you. And then also so this is just for all the drones. That's what they do. But then the spider drone in particular, he also turns on attack mode when that
Oh.
distance is short enough. So
Right.
then
Right.
he
Right.
spins his head around and starts attacking. And then if the player's far enough away, it shuts off and he stops.
Nice.
So yeah, so that's how that works.
So, question for you, Michael. When I start
Sure.
placing props in this scene, will those props be, should I include a rigid body on them so that people have to, you know, dive in and out and try to not hit those objects?
Um, if you would like to add things that people have to dodge, which I'm totally for, by all means, um, the way that I would recommend doing that is basically to copy what I've done for the divider panel. So there's a couple of these divider panels scattered throughout the level. There aren't that many because one of the reasons why I didn't include a bunch of these is because there's kind of a weird thing that goes on with when the drones are flying. The drones are unaffected by the doors and the panels. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't want that to be the case, but like I had mentioned with the collider matrix that I showed, I just couldn't figure out how to get it to work. And so they're a little weird, and it causes this bizarre thing where like you see the drone and it never seems to like it doesn't collide with the
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
obstacle, and it never passes through it. It just because the drones are on a different layer in order to prevent them from clipping through things. It's a whole thing in the deal. Anyway, it looks a little weird, so I tried to like minimize where I used them. But for the purposes that you're asking, feel free, definitely put some stuff in here. And what it's going to need are 3 different components, and you can see them right here. It's these 3. You need a box collider that's set to is trigger. You need the door collision script, and you don't have to do anything with it. You don't have no coding. You just add this script, and then
Uh-huh.
that's it.
Uh-huh.
Add a rigid body and set it to is kinematic. If
Okay.
you add those 3 things with those 2 booleans checked, the player can collide with it, and it should work just fine.
Nice. Okay.
The only thing that might be kind of tricky with any of that, the rigid body, is just adding it by default, it'll be totally fine. All you need to do is just check the is kinematic button. Don't need to do anything with that. Door collision script, just add it, don't need to do anything. With the box collider though, sometimes like if you just add a box collider and adding it here, I'm gonna hide myself for a second so I can kind of show you what I'm doing. Um, Adding a box collider is as easy as just clicking add component right here, typing in box, and then doing a collider. And note, do not add a 2D collider. That's only for 2D games, and it will
Mm.
not work in the 3D game. So
Mm.
just do a regular box collider. And then when you do that, it'll add it. I already have one on here, so you can't really see what's going on. but once you do add it, if you need to edit it, you can click this little edit button here, and it's going to put these little squares on here. So, Unity does a really good job of guessing what the box shape should be.
Uh-huh.
But if you're going to add something that's got like a really weird oblong shape to it, you might need to do something a little special. And so then what you can do is you can grab these pieces and you can adjust the box and be like, okay, actually I want the box like that, and then I want, it to be wider this way. And you can also adjust these variables here to change that. So if you know, like, yeah, I want the center to be at 0, like I'm just going to hit 0, and now that's where I want it to be. And for whatever reason, you can do that. I'm going to undo all of that. The other thing with box colliders, if you do have like a really crazy shape, you could also add a second one. So for example, I'll show you one of the things that I did with actually this door here. So if we zoom in on this door and I go into this mode, so we get rid of all this other stuff, I'm going to hide the bottom door. So the top door here actually has it's got a rigid body and it's got 2 box colliders and then the door collision script. The reason it has 2 box colliders is because if I hide the mesh, I wanted a second box collider down here to capture the little like tooth of the door.
Mm-hmm.
Because it seemed like it would be unfair to, have the player like if I did something like that and
Right,
the
right,
player
right,
flew
right.
through here, like
Yeah,
you don't want to punish them and have them get hit by that. So
right.
um, the thing that's cool about Unity is it's smart enough that if you add 2 box colliders like this, you don't need to do anything else. It's just smart enough to know like, oh, I'm going to combine these when detecting hit collision.
Oh, okay, good.
So if you have a weird shape, then that's all you have to do is just add another box collider or as many as you need to get the shape going. The one thing that I would say though is don't go crazy with them.
Mm-hmm.
Fewer is generally better in my experience, and
Mm-hmm.
also um, if it's something you want the player to shoot, err on the side of making the box bigger. If it's something you want the player to avoid, err on the side of making it a little bit smaller.
Sure.
So in the case of the door, these box colliders are extremely tight to the spaces where the player would actually hit. And in fact, there's even a couple of spots like right there. If the player collided with that part of the mesh, they wouldn't hit the box collider. And that is to be forgiving. That way, the player has the impression that if they crashed into something, it was really their fault because they were definitely right up on the mesh.
Right.
And compare that to one of the drones. If we look at this spider drone here, you can see his box colliders are actually pretty big. They go way outside the bounds of his mesh, but because it's hard enough as it is to shoot things in the game, this actually feels right. Even if the player's, hitting way over here, and you're like, technically you didn't actually hit the drone. Um, when I made these boxes small enough that they really hugged the mesh of the drone, it felt really hard and really punishing. So this was better.
Sure.
Anywho,
Uh, yeah,
yeah.
Michael, can you really quickly create like a shape and then just apply it as if there was like a new shape that I want to put in the environment? Can you do a really quick demo for me so I have it on video so I don't have to
Oh yeah,
ask you?
sure. So let's see
Yeah.
here.
Oh yeah, yeah, perfect. Just take one of those shapes. Yeah.
So let's do this guy. Let's make a duplicate of this and a duplicate of this. And let's say that I want to put this top of this guy. Whatever. Something weird like that. I didn't get him on there yet. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba. Okay, that looks close enough to me. Okay, so we've got our little core thing here. I'm going to create an empty parent. We'll call this our obstacle demo. And then I'm going to drag that out of there. just so it's not part of that parent.
Right.
And now what I want, oh yeah. So actually what I'm gonna do is you'll notice up here the transform, it's not zeroed out. So when I added those things in, this is where that like empty parent went, which
Right.
means that that
Yep.
thing's like way offset. So when that happens, what you can do is just reset these guys. You want to reset the ones, in this particular case, it's going to be a little bit tricky because I've got one on top of the other, but they should be sharing the same
Hmm.
Z and X axes. So I'm going to adjust those two to 0. So I'm just going to switch that to 0, that to 0, leave the Y alone, and now you'll see that they are perfectly lined up with their parent. So
Oh,
if that
nice.
happens,
Perfect.
that's how you fix that.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to move this guy over here. Well, I guess I don't even really need, well, okay, we're doing this legit. So what I'll do is I'll just put this right here. And so we've got that. Maybe let's bring it up a little bit. Oh, one other trick that you can use is here, I'm going to turn my camera back on because I'm going to make a hand gesture. Um, if you want an object to, like if you want to uh, grab a vertex and perfectly align it with another surface or another vertex,
Hmm.
you can press the letter V on the keyboard. And so now I'm holding it down, and now you can see that my cursor is kind of like snapping to all the vertices on the object.
Hmm.
So I can grab this one down here at the bottom, and that's weird. Okay, so it's snapping to other vertices, and there
Hmm.
happens to be a couple here at the edge of the platform. So I'm just going to let go of I'm currently holding the V key, and I clicked the mouse button. When I let go of the mouse button, now I've got that object there, and it's perfectly aligned with the floor. So now I
Right.
can
Nice.
slide it around wherever I want it to go.
Nice.
So now what I need to do is I need a rigid body, and what I'm going to do too, I'm going to add all that other stuff to the parent object. Um, you could do the individual objects, but it's in most cases it's easier to do the parent. And for what you're going to be doing, I would recommend doing the parent.
Okay.
So I've got that. I'm going to go up here and start typing, or click on add component, and then start typing rigid body. And then it's going to, suggest a bunch of things. You just want regular rigid body, not the 2D one. I'm going to turn off use gravity, because if you leave that on, then, it's going to fall through the floor, or it won't fall through the floor, but if there's a hole in the floor, it'll fall through, or if the floor
Right.
doesn't have, um, if the floor itself doesn't have a rigid body, it would fall through, I think. Um, and I'm going to turn on is kinematic. And again, all that means is just don't be affected by physics forces, which is good because otherwise, in fact, actually, well, yeah, I'll show you what that does when we turn it off afterwards. But for now, um, for our little demo exercise, turn off gravity, turn on is kinematic. Next, I'm going to add the door collision script. And it actually applies collision to really any object, not just doors, but
Uh-huh.
I needed it for the doors, and it's
Right.
primarily used for the doors. I just didn't bother renaming it. So you add that. There's nothing to do after that. It'll take care of everything else on its own.
Nice.
And then finally, you want to add a box collider. So, excuse me, I'm going to click box collider here, and you'll see Unity actually didn't get that one very spot on. It just put in like a regular cube. It's
Mm-hmm.
kind of confused about what to do. So
Hmm.
I'm going to go ahead and click here to edit it. And now I can grab these pieces and start editing this. Let's grab this guy down here, bring that up. And actually, why don't we do like, one down here like so. And actually, I'm gonna take back something that I just said about like doing the box collider at the parent level. If this kind of a thing happens, one thing that you can do, so I'm gonna go ahead and remove this box collider. If you go down to the individual piece level and try to add a box collider there, it might do a better job of kind of guessing the
Oh,
shape.
sure. Yeah.
So you can see there, it's like, okay,
Yep.
you've got, I don't know, this sort of thing. Like, I'll
Yep.
put it there. And then again, I think that's a little bit too, it's too much space there, so I'm going to shrink it a little bit. I'll just click on the Edit Collider button, and then I can start grabbing these pieces and kind of like shrinking that in a bit. And shove that on that side. Maybe bring the bottom up a little and the top down a little bit. Okay, there we go. And then on the little mini core thing down at the bottom, I'm gonna do the same thing, add a box collider, and there we go. Did a pretty good job of guessing where that was.
Nice.
So I think that's it. Oh, nope. Well, yeah, actually that is it. Because I got the door collision and then the rigid body, and then this should work. Yeah, because the box colliders of the children should apply to the parent. And
Okay,
now that that
nice.
thing is there, we should be able to crash into that. To make it really obvious, I'm going to disable this drone and hit play and skip past this. And then let's see, should be right here at the beginning. Get nice and low. And nope. Did I not go low enough?
No, you went pretty low.
Yeah, I thought so too. I'm going to pause this right here. Oh yeah, I'm definitely low enough to
Yeah.
collide with it. So that makes me think that the box collider for the children, it might be the problem.
It needs to be on the on the empty.
Well, it's possible that the box collider needs to be attached. Actually, maybe the rigid bodies need to be attached here. Well, let's do a little experiment. I'm just going to add a generic box collider here, like this, and let's get rid of the ones on the children. The children. So now we have all three of these things attached to the same, at the same level. Let's see if that fixed it. Oh, I know why it didn't work. I didn't have this set to as trigger. I'm going to leave that where it is here, and then we'll try it again with the children set to as trigger. I think that might have been what the problem is.
Nice.
So, bam, there you go.
Yeah.
That
Nice.
worked. So I'm going to undo what I did, get back to the children pieces. There we go. And then try this again. Is trigger, play, skip, and let's see if we can crash into it again. Yeah, great. Okay,
Nice.
fantastic.
Nice.
So there you go. So
Very
it
cool.
works with the parents, with the children. You just have to make sure that is trigger is checked.
Got it. Got it. Oh man, this gives me a lot of power. I'm
Yeah.
probably gonna frack up your gameplay. I'm gonna have all these like pipes
Abuse
like
it.
everywhere. It's like the pipes are like this way, it crisscrosses. You gotta
Oh
like,
God.
yeah.
Yeah. Feel free. And especially there's one part, the part where we go upside down. I think it would be really cool to have stuff on the floor that causes us to need to go upside down.
Oh, sure.
I had no idea why. I was just like, it would be fun to do an inversion here.
Yeah.
And then I thought afterwards, like, I wonder if Chris can like add some stuff in there to make it
Yep.
seem like, oh, that's why we would go upside down, as opposed to just like doing it for the hell of it.
I like
So yeah,
it.
so there you go.
Very
Let's
cool,
turn
Matt.
the
Well, thanks
spider
thanks
back on.
for showing it to me.
Sure. Yeah, no problem.
And I could take that and make that into a prefab, right? So I don't have to repeat this step every single time. All right, good.
Yes, and I highly recommend doing that because it is way easier to work with prefabs than just the basic pieces. And then yeah, I mean, you know how to make a prefab, right? You just drag this into the project.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm a professional. I know how to do it.
Professional game developers here.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, that's about it. The only other thing that's maybe like yeah, that's really about it. Like for the progression screen, I've added some like mission flavor text for each of the missions. It's all first draft stuff that's not
Hmm.
very good, but it's at least enough that you can get the story.
Yeah.
And they all progress one through to the next. So if you complete a mission, you can get into the next one.
Nice.
Oh, I was going to show you guys death, right? Like the
Oh, right,
yes,
right, right.
I'm not invulnerable. So part of the way that the health system works is you've only got your shield health, and if it gets completely depleted, there's like this window of forgiveness where if you take a couple more rounds of damage, like see we're already at red here, but we didn't blow
Oh,
up. Well,
oh,
now we blew up.
now we did. Yeah.
When I started that sentence, we hadn't blown up. Um, but basically, the way that works is when your shield's completely gone, you've got like a real narrow window to stop taking damage, and then your shield will completely recover. And
Hmm.
also
Hmm.
that sort of like behind the scenes, under the hood placeholder health will also recover. The player never sees that. Um, oh, I turned off that the bottom half of that door. I was wondering like, why is this door only like the top half opening? And that's because at the prefab level, I hid that door. Uh, it's
Holy
part of
crap.
my explanation when I was
If
like,
you miss a spider bot, you're gonna get punished because they'll just start shooting you in the back.
uh, for a little while, yes.
Yeah.
Once you're out of range, then yeah, you're free and clear. The
Yeah.
horizontal door. Yes, here we
Totoro
go.
says, "Death, please."
Yeah. So yeah, here we go. I'll get
Best
myself
of
good
luck.
and killed for y'all. Just let these spider drones blast away. Oh, I also changed the hit flash for the player from yellow to red. That seemed more fitting with the. Here's the death.
Oh, jeez.
Kaboom!
Sorry.
And then
You
we get a
failed.
failed screen,
Yeah.
and yeah,
You got no
and then a chance
drones.
to try again. So then we can press the button, and it'll just reload that mission for us.
Nice.
And you can
Man, good
also.
job with the programming. This is good.
Thank you. Yeah, it took a long time to figure out some, and there were lots of little bugs, but
Yeah.
even on this screen right here, I've also programmed in if you don't want to, watch all the text like popping, you just click the button and it'll skip to like just automatically fill all that out, and then you can jump right in.
Nice.
Um, but yeah, so we flash red now. That seemed to make more sense. So that way, when the player is hitting something, that thing flashes yellow. So it's like a reward to the player. Um, and then they flash red. I think that those two things seem like they needed a different vocabulary. So I went with that.
Yeah, no,
Are they gonna
agreed.
kill me? Bam, boom. And then when the player dies, obviously the camera kind of like rolls to a stop,
Hmm.
and the game manager gets a notification. The player ship basically says, "Whoop, I died. Here's my stats. Like here are the drones that I killed." And you also see here like the accuracy actually is correct now.
Mm.
Uh, that was my accuracy for this run just before I died. Um, and then yeah, once the player is dead, then the game manager takes over and loads in the fail screen and does some other stuff. So there
Nice.
you go.
Well, good
Ta-da!
job, man. This looks great. Do you mind just playing it through one more time and with you without you dying?
Sure. I don't trust myself at my own game enough to not play with invincibility, so I'll leave it on.
This is cool.
Um, yeah, and this like making this screen was actually it took some time, but all of the stuff that I did with the score screen, I was able to like carry over some of those learnings in order to get the text to
Mm,
kind of like typewriter in to get the things flashing, this like pulsing effect.
nice.
Um, yeah, so got all that, and one of the things though that I think is going to potentially be a big pain in the ass for me, just prior to release, all of the HUD stuff I've basically made according to my screen settings. um, Kicking the can down the road for future Michael to deal with like getting the HUD resolution to
Mm,
HUD to work with all resolutions,
mm-hmm.
or at least with 4K, 2K, and 1080p, maybe one just below that in case anybody's playing this on a really small screen. That's going to be super complicated. So I'm kind of dreading that. But anyway,
Mm.
sorry. Without further ado,
Yeah, no worries.
here's another round of the level, and you can see too, like, see how the like outline for the drone is there after we get close enough to it. I
Yeah,
don't know if you're, yeah, little subtle, which
yeah,
is kind of the idea.
yeah. That's cool.
Something you shouldn't notice.
And I noticed you changed their health, amount of health too. They're a lot easier to kill, which is nice.
Did I? You might be
It
right.
it feels. I
I,
mean, they're totally different than Scene 2. It took me a long time to kill them, or that I
I
just have really shitty aim.
Well, it
Can't
Scene
remember.
2's a little bit different because they're quite a bit further away.
Uh,
So I think they're a lot harder to hit. I might have though. I've done so much work since
sure,
last time.
sure.
I've completely forgotten all the stuff that I changed. Or I've updated. Oh, you know what? I haven't put the mission objective here. I should put some text in there. Oh, so like watch these things, these dividers when the drone is there. See how that drone kind of just like flew, or that drone flew like right through
Yep.
the door? Like there's gonna be some more dividers up here. Watch these two guys. If I'm in the same position that they're in, I'd get hit by that, but they
Yeah.
don't. They
Yeah.
never pass through it.
And I think
And the
that's
reason,
fine.
yeah, I mean, for the purposes of like what we're doing, the most important thing is like the gameplay and such. But just as an FYI, that was one of the reasons why I didn't add more obstacles and stuff, because I was like, that looks a little weird. So I'll add it in
Oh,
here and there, but that's not to say, I'm not at all discouraging you from adding stuff. The more stuff
yeah.
that you add, the better. And well, I mean, within reason, obviously, don't jam it full of stuff where there's like so much stuff the player can't even, like, oh my god, it's like a rat's nest in here. Um, but yeah, the more stuff that like the player can see and add texture. Oh, right there. I don't know if you noticed that,
Yeah, there's a little
the seam.
disconnect. Yeah, the seam, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure I got the. Maybe I didn't get that exactly.
I think it's gonna be fine because whenever we do this, whenever I turn off the lights and light it
Mm-hmm.
the way we want it to, you're not gonna see the seams, hopefully.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, like, and you've got those
Divider thingies. Yep.
tunnel
Yep. Yep.
divider
Yep.
things.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
So feel free to
perfect.
add as many of those, but yeah. And I think any of this like stuff that gets added that is collidable is going to make sense because the player is going to think like, oh, geez, I got to watch out for that stuff,
Yeah.
um, and not get. Whoa. The laser drones.
Oh geez. It's like freaking Symmetra and what's her face? Uh
Zarya.
Zarya, thank you. I hate those two.
Yeah, so like in this scene, I wanted these guys to be like swarming in from all the different vents that are, all the different tunnel areas in here, but couldn't program it, so all I did was just like, I'm just gonna have them kind of like come in from the sides using the existing drone spawn functionality, and it kind
Hmm.
of gives you the impression that like, oh, they're kind of coming in this space.
Yeah.
And then here, I wanted to have like, oh, I ran out of time to like cap off some of these
Yeah, I'll cap it.
tunnels.
I'll
Okay,
cap it.
great.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
But I wanted a moment here where you just really, if you
God,
don't
you're
take
getting
out these
fried.
laser drones fast enough, yeah, you just get completely overwhelmed by them. Die, missile drone.
Wow.
He's
Oh, I
still
hit him.
not dead. Ba, 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 ba.
Nice.
I still need to fix the IDs so that they don't all say T1000, because really only the T drones should say T,
Oh,
and the
sure.
missile drone should be M, and the laser
Yeah.
drone should be L. Oh, in that scene right there, just as a little behind the scenes FYI, I had an idea. Yeah, this area right here where I was like, I have all these ones actually do have backstops on them because I actually had spider drones in there in each one of those, and I had the player at one point flying sideways through here and kind of like, shooting them as they went
Oh,
along.
cool. Oh, that's cool.
Sounds like a really cool idea. In execution, it was really frustrating to play because part
Oh.
of the problem was like when I'm in this space, part of the problem was like as you're moving like this,
Mm-hmm.
the drone that's here or here is already like shooting you, and you have to wait for the camera to like catch up before
Mm.
you can aim your reticle over there far enough to get him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It ended up being just really frustrating, so I bailed on it.
Sure.
Might be a cool thing to do in the future, but for
Yeah.
now, that's why those are there, and we don't do anything with them.
Sure.
I tried and didn't quite work, so oh well. Oh man, suddenly I'm really hungry.
Yeah. 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 I'm gonna eat some cereal after this. Oh, we just got raided. Goat Boy.
Yeah!
Hello, everyone. So good to see you. Goat
Welcome,
Raid.
Raiders.
Hello, Gentleman Heavy. How are you doing? So good to see you guys. Thank you so much for the follow, Arc Royal. You guys are catching us at a good time. We're currently going through the video game that we're creating. This is Michael. This is Michael, and
Hello.
I'm Chris. We're both we're both designers, and Michael is a programmer now. He's learning Unity, and we've been doing this video game for about like 6 months, and we've been learning a lot. We've been learning a lot, and I'm the concept artist. I draw all the everything that you see here, and Michael programs everything. So with our powers combined, this is what you will see, and our game is coming out like very soon, next week or next week. We still have one more week. We're allowing us ourselves to have one more week to polish some stuff in, add a little bit of music, and just to get some bugs out of the way. But yeah, welcome guys, welcome. Thank you again for
Yeah,
the raid.
welcome in.
Yeah. Terratan could be a harder difficulty setting. Oh God, like we 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 only have one for now. One is like a lot of work already. So maybe version 2 will have difficult settings. Go Boy says, "Heck yeah, sounds awesome." Yeah, it definitely is a lot of. It definitely was a journey. We started this whole idea of, oh, let's create a video game in, I don't know, like April, April,
Yeah, I
right?
think it was April.
Yeah, it was April, and then we gave ourselves like a deadline. It's like we're gonna finish this by the end of September, and we are doing it. We're doing it. We're doing it. We're doing it. And I'm very, very proud of the both of us. So hopefully you guys like what you see. Currently, Michael is just setting up the paths, and what he's going to do is he's going to give this level to me, and I'm going to just populate it with knickknacks and like pipes and chords and whatnot, and I'm gonna play with the lighting as well because right now everything is all one note lighting, and in this case I think we're going through kind of like this corridor slash tunnel. I think darkness would be will be our ally, and we'll see what happens because I will take it and I will play with it, and I will show this to you guys on Sunday. Hopefully you guys will like what I do with it, and yeah, we'll see what I can do with it. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, I have
Yeah.
every faith in you, Chris. Every
Yeah.
confidence.
I hope so, because you already did like amazing work on putting this level together, and I just
Thanks,
want to make
man.
sure we see it through.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And that reminds me too. After this playthrough, I want to show you a couple of the things in terms of like how I organized the assets.
Nice.
That way, if you're working
Good.
around in there and you're like, where the heck is this thing? I'll show you how to get to it.
Great. Awesome, man. Thank you. Goat Boy says, awesome. I hope everything goes well with you guys. Yeah, thank you so much. And by the
Thank you.
way, I didn't ask, how was your stream? Hopefully you had an amazing stream. What did you stream? Are you just chatting? Are you doing art? Are you playing video games? What were you doing, man? Hopefully you had a good stream.
Yeah, please let us know.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so about the difficulty setting, I'm currently playing without invulnerability turned on, so I might
Oh,
die.
nice. Oh, geez. Good, good, good.
Yeah,
Keep going, keep going.
uh, no
Oh,
training
geez.
wheels here.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
I'm
Keep
not gonna
going.
shoot those doors open because I know there's enemies behind them.
Ah!
Um,
Nice.
but yeah, I would like there to be some like difficulty flexibility in the game, but currently that's just not in the cards for us in order
Nice.
to finish this prototype in time. So only
Nice.
one difficulty, and I've tried my best to make it to where it's like challenging but not impossible. Well, not really. Like I've really erred on the side of like making it like as you can see here, like I cleared out all those drones and only lost about a fifth of my health.
Yeah.
So if you play it enough that you know like which the encounters are and you're really focused about like right here there's going to be a bunch of laser drones. If I and
Get him.
straight to
Get him.
business and
Kill
I'm
him.
taking
Kill
them
him.
out as they come in, they're not going to be able to do enough damage to hurt me
Yeah.
or to like kill me.
Right.
If you don't do that though, and you're like, "Oh man, I can't aim. What's going on here?"
Yeah.
Like they're gonna do a lot of damage and could potentially kill you. So
Right, right, right.
you can die, and if it's really struggling with the controls, it's probably gonna be difficult. Um, but yeah, bottom line, I erred on the side of it being easier, and I'm probably
Right.
even going to put in a cheat code where you can just make yourself invincible in case you're that player who's like, I want to play through the whole game, but man, it's too hard for me.
Right.
I just want to see what happens. Um, I'll probably add that shouldn't be too difficult. Probably add that functionality that way. You can just like, I don't, I just want to play through your game to see all the cool stuff.
Right.
Um, then you can just do what I did and play through it as invincible.
Nice.
But
And
thank you for the feedback about the
yeah.
difficulty.
Yeah, 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 totally. Thank you so much, Cheritan. And Goat Boy says, our stream was awesome. We just opened our first Minecraft server to the public. Ooh, nice. And
Ooh,
it was fun.
neato.
And I had a crowd control so people can hurt me or help me by throwing stuff or morbs or explosion at me or help me by giving me stuff and whatnot. That is cool, man. Cool.
Yeah, that's
Congratulations
awesome.
on the server opening. That is great, man.
Yeah, it's
That
super
is so
cool.
cool. That is very, very awesome. And Banana says, and also thank you so much for following, Banana. Really, really, really appreciate
Oh
it.
yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Oh, we already rated. Yeah, I was AFK. Yeah, yeah. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to the Creative Tavern, everyone. Oh, geez. Go, go,
Gonna
go, go,
make
go, go,
it.
go, 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 go,
Oh,
go, go,
they
go.
got me
Oh no, you were
right at
so
the end.
close. Oh God. Oh man.
Yeah, I've been trying to find the sweet spot with like how much damage those guys do at the end there because I want that moment to feel like you're in the red, but you
Yeah.
just barely make it.
Yeah.
But
You,
obviously I
we
didn't.
didn't. It's all good. Agent Goat says, "Bah!" And Go Boy 6, heck yeah, that is awesome, man. That is awesome. Congratulations on your Minecraft server again. That is so cool.
Yeah, congrats.
Yeah,
And thank you for being here.
yeah. Michael, do you play Minecraft at all? Have you ever played Minecraft?
I have played Minecraft, but only as the sort of like, man, what's this Minecraft thing that all the kids are talking about? Like, what's
Uh-huh,
going on
uh-huh,
over here? And then checked it out and was like, I don't get it. I don't
uh-huh,
understand this.
uh-huh.
So
Yeah.
I appreciate Minecraft. I think it's
Hmm.
cool, and that there's this huge community of people that play it.
Yeah.
Um, it just goes right over my head. I don't get it.
Yeah,
It
I watch a
seems kind
lot
of
of
thing. Go ahead.
sorry, I was gonna say I watch a lot of streamers, and man, they play Minecraft for hours on end, and it's insane, and they just have like so much fun, and I enjoy watching them, so it's really, really cool. So, yeah, Go Boy, whenever next time you stream, I definitely will be keeping an eye on your channel, so whenever you play, I will be watching, man. And Agent
Yeah,
Goat says, I love Minecraft. Yeah.
love it.
Nice, nice.
Um,
Oh,
oh yeah, let me move this down here so all this stuff is visible. Sorry, you going to say something, Chris?
Oh, no, no, no. I was gonna say thank you for putting all the elements in there for me to use again. What you did for last week was really, really good for me. All the
Okay,
elements was there. I didn't have to like import anything, so it was very, very convenient. So thank you for that.
sure. And speaking of which, so the way that these assets work, it's basically, that entire set, they are twice their normal size.
Hmm.
So as you can see up here in the scale,
Oh, interesting.
because after I did some experimentation, um, I tried, the normal size, I tried 2 times, 3 times, and 5 times, and 2 times is what I ended up with. Like the entire rest of
Sure,
the level is built with 2 times.
sure.
Um, it just looked the best. It had the
Right.
like the best balance between feeling small enough and claustrophobic enough that you get a lot
Hmm.
of that speed and
Hmm.
that
Hmm.
contrast between the like out in space levels
Right.
earlier, but also was just big enough that the player can't go outside of the bounds because with the one size, the problem I ran into there was that if the player goes far enough to the left or to the right, they're technically outside of the corridor, and so they could just zoom past all of the doors without opening them.
Sure, sure,
Um,
sure.
so yeah, so there's that. There was
Good to know.
also a couple of weird, like slightly weird things with some of the doors, with the way that they fit in the space. You can see this one doesn't like quite fit in there. I tried to like adjust them to the best I could, but
Uh-huh.
there were like some spots where it was okay and some spots where it wasn't.
Oh, interesting.
Um,
Oh, is it
yeah,
because you made it twice as big, and then, well, that's not, well, then theoretically you should just make the doors
yeah,
twice as big as well, right? But that
right.
didn't still didn't
So.
work.
Uh, It didn't seem to. I don't know if I made a mistake. There were a couple of cases where I was like, "Ooh, this is like the door was too small," and so there was this gap around where the corridor was.
Mm,
So for
mm-hmm,
those
mm-hmm,
doors, I like buffed them by
mm-hmm.
like 1.025 or whatever. So it's just like slightly bigger than one, just to kind of fit
Yeah,
it in there. So you might find a couple of those
right,
throughout the level.
right.
One other thing that's really weird with the door, I mean, you're not gonna, I don't think you're gonna move any of the doors.
No, no,
Or no,
I'm not
okay.
gonna touch the doors yet.
Uh, then I'll just finish that thought, but you don't need to worry about it. Is the doors are actually the automatic doors are attached to the gate, and they
Mm-hmm,
are
mm-hmm.
on the rail, so you actually move them like
Oh,
this.
oh, okay. Oh, interesting. Oh, nice.
Um, right, and which means that if you want to like get the door lined up just right, you kind of have to like decouple it from the rail. And if the rail
Yeah,
twists or does something like that, then the door's also twisting. So then you got to like reset it to get it to line up with the corridor.
right.
Um, if you're not going to be moving into the doors, you don't
No.
need to worry about that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be moving any doors at all. So yeah, I'm gonna keep it as is, and I'm just gonna be doing more additional, adding more additional interior props, and that's about it. But I don't want to mess with your gameplay right now at
Okay,
this point. Yeah.
excellent.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Goat Boy, thank you so much for the follow. Agent Goat, thank you also for the follow. Really, really appreciate it. Goat Boy says, I
Man,
have been
awesome.
streaming a
Thank you.
while, so I'm going to go eat and relax. Best of luck to you guys and have fun. Thank you so much. And yes, get all the necessary rest you need, because I know definitely like how it feels like after a stream. You feel like super, super tired, and then like for example, after this stream, I'm gonna go eat some cereal and play a little bit of Overwatch just to relax. Yeah, and
Yeah.
Agent Goat says, "You making a game?" Yes, yes, we are. So Michael and I currently we're making this rail shooter, and we decided to do this in the beginning of April this year, and then it's essentially taking us 6 months for us to get to this part right now, and yeah, it's definitely been a learning an experience trying to create all the assets in 3D and then exporting it into Unity, and this is what it looks like right now. So what I'm gonna do for next week is take this model right here in Unity and then light it and populate it with more props and make it just a little bit more interesting. And Agent Goat says, "This is cool. I always wanted to make a game, but I spent most of my years just drawing and stuff." Yeah, it's definitely doable. Hell, if I can do it, and with Michael's help, it's definitely doable. As long as you have patience and determination and just the willpower to just get through it. And it definitely helps if you're not a programmer. Find a buddy who like I found, Michael, or Michael is the guy who's actually programming everything in Unity. Without him, I would not be able to make a video game. So yeah, yeah. So you just got to find the right partnership. For me, I'm totally just an artist. I create art in Photoshop, and I know how to do 3D modeling and texturing and creating assets. But that's all what it is. You need someone like Michael, who is a programmer in Unity, to put everything together. So yeah, it can be done. It can be done. You just got to have a lot of faith in yourself and determination, and don't give up. Don't give up. You can do it if you put your mind to it. Take it day by day, just like how we did it.
Absolutely. And depending on the game that you want to make, you might not need to be you might be able to do it without programming. So if you don't have a buddy who does programming or you don't want
Hmm.
to get
Hmm.
into programming,
Yeah.
if you're going to make something that's like a Japanese RPG, like a JRPG, they have a game engine that I believe like JRPG Maker or something like that that doesn't really require that much programming.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. In fact, let's see if I can remember her name. I think her name is Laura Shigiri, something like that.
Uh-huh.
She's a musical artist. She did the soundtrack for Plants vs. Zombies.
Hmm.
Shigehara, maybe? Um, and she a couple of years ago released her own game, which she made with JRPG Maker. And she's not a programmer. Um, she's a musician,
Ah,
and so
yeah.
she got some help from a few artists. So because that's the other half of the making a video game equation. If you're not an artist, in my case, I like to draw, but I'm not a professional artist. So the reason that we have these super sexy drones and these tunnels that we can fly through is thanks to Chris. So he's the other half of this two-man duo. Um, so in Laura's case, she hired some extra artists
Hmm.
to do the art for the game, and she made this JRPG game.
Nice.
Um, yeah. So depending on what kind of game you want to make, they have tools out there where you can get by without any coding at all. Though if you do want to do coding, I would highly recommend it. I think it's really cool.
Hmm.
And yeah, once you know the fundamentals, um, you can just think of stuff and be like, I want to put that in the game. And then you just do it.
Yeah.
And if you want to follow the path that I took to learn how to do Unity, I highly recommend GameDev.tv. They are a company that offers online training and tutorials for making games in Unity and Unreal and a couple of other things, but it's primarily those two. And their courses are awesome. They're really reasonably priced, and their instructors are incredible. I learned basically everything I know about Unity from that. Uh, plus, the a lot of my like real deep programming know-how came from CS50,
Hmm.
which is also free. If you want to watch that on YouTube or go on to edX, you can take Harvard CS50 computer science class and learn all about computer programming.
Nice.
And I'm rambling at this point, so
No, no, this really, I mean, that's the important information that, for people who want to, get into video game programming, and, that they need this information. And Agent Goat says, I got into texturing 3D models, something simple, and I have RPG Maker. Ooh,
there you go.
nice. Oh, there you go. That's perfect. You're not crazy, Michael. You're not crazy. People actually
Nice.
are, are using what you said. Agent Goat says, "This is very inspiring." Ah, that's awesome, man. That is great. I'm glad you could, be inspired to see
Wow.
what you can
They
do
told
as
me
well.
fast.
Holy cow, yeah.
Yeah, I might need to. adjust the balance on that when I start. It worked, as everything. It worked great earlier,
Uh,
before the stream, but now that the stream's running, it's totally broken.
no,
But
it's all good, man. It's all good.
yeah, that's super exciting that this is inspiring. That's great to hear, for a couple of different reasons, but not the least of which is that was the whole point of
Mm,
doing the Creative Tavern, was to share this creative work as we do it with other people, in the hopes that it would do just that, that it would
yeah.
be inspiring and
Hmm.
water that seed that you have of an idea that, like, ooh, I want to do this. We just want to be encouraging and help you get that art out into the world, because the world needs it. The world
Hmm.
is so much better when you don't keep your art to yourself, when
Right.
you share it.
Yeah. And it's a hard thing because I always say in my stream that it's hard to share your art because when you do art, you're sharing a little piece of your soul. You're putting a little piece of your soul onto the paper or digital canvas or to your game, right? And when you show it to people, you're exposed, right? And then you got to be brave because people will give you opinions of what they think, and sometimes they're a little bit mean, right? So, uh, but in this place, in this tavern here, the creative tavern that Michael and I created, we welcome you guys to be here to share your journey, whether it's art, music, writing, whatever it is. This is a safe space, and if anyone gives you shit, I will, both of us will kick them out. But so far, everyone has been really, really encouraging, really, really lovely. And if you ever want to design a game, Michael and I are here to give you any feedback, any suggestions. If we could point you into the right direction, we are here for you. And I'm just gonna enter our. Or hold on, wait, hold on.
You got to do that from
Uh.
the Creative Tavern.
Oh, sure. All right. So if you, okay, yeah, I guess. Sorry, I'm not logged into my uh account. So Lead Design Studio is actually my account. That's where you can find me. But I thought that was a. Hold on. That's so interesting. Social. There you go.
There you go.
Go ahead and follow that link, and then you could join our Discord. And from there, you could post your amazing art, whatever you do, and if you want to share, we will just be part of your journey. And so yeah, again, I'm like Michael said, it's really great to hear that you feel inspired to see what we're doing because God, it better count for something. We better inspire somebody because oh my God, this is so hard. And yeah, it's a good. It's really rewarding. And doing this game for or creating this game for the past 6 months, 6 months, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Something like that.
Yeah, or like 5 months. Definitely
Let's
5 months.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it was April, May, June, July, August, September. So
Oh, there you go.
yeah, so I
Yeah,
think it'll
there
be
you go.
six
6 months.
months.
Yeah, 6 months to create this little video game. And like you told me, like doing a video game like this at this speed is quite fast, right? So it's
Blazing fast.
yeah, yeah. So
But
I'm very proud
to
of
be,
us.
yeah, I am too. To be fair though, the games that I compared, or that I like am using that yardstick to measure, those games are like full commercial releases, not just like
Mm-hmm.
prototypes, which
Right.
ours is, not ready for prime time. It's just a prototype for us to say, like, hey, we did it. Here's Because the whole goal from the very beginning was to make an MVP, a minimum viable product that was just a sort of like snapshot slice of here's what we could do, um, if we wanted to invest more time and resources into making the thing happen. Um, so yeah, and I just realized too. I think this is design meeting number 48, which means the next one is going to be 49, and the final one will be 50.
Oh wow.
That's pretty. uh, you'd think that we planned that, but
Oh
we
geez.
didn't.
Holy cow, that is very cool.
Yeah,
50
50
meetings,
design
yeah.
meetings to get
So
this
that's
thing out the door.
so that's essentially 25 weeks.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, 25 weeks that we've been at this. So, whoa, that is so cool. Congratulations, Michael. It was a pleasure working with you, man.
Congratulations,
It
Chris.
was it's
Likewise.
pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Let's not get too excited about congratulating each other just yet. We still got
Yeah,
a week and a half to go.
yeah. Totally. Very cool, very cool. But yeah, if you guys have any questions for us, we will probably be wrapping up very soon. Just to let you guys know, this is my social links as well as Michael's social links. So if you guys want to, get to know us on a individual level, feel free to contact us. Wherever you can find us. You could find me on twitch.tv at Leeds Design Studio. I mostly do digital paintings of, anime girls, and that's something I am very passionate about, and I'm just, trying to do this, you know, trying to get better every single day. Just do a painting a day, and even though it's not the best, at least I'm moving towards something, right? And yeah, I definitely do have some things in store, but currently I have a Kickstarter going on. So if you like enamel pins and if you like to collect, plushies, if you like, tarot cards, something that I designed just for myself, you feel free to check out again my social. You can find all my stuff that I create in on my little online shop. So yeah, really appreciate it. And Michael, where can they find you, man?
So you can follow that link to get to access to all my social stuff. Though really, I'm not very active there, but I've been saying this for months that hey, once the game's done, then I'm gonna start doing some more stuff. And oh my gosh, the game's almost done. So
Yeah.
very soon, I'm gonna have some more things going on. So stay tuned. But in the meantime, if you're interested, if you like storytelling or you want to read as a way to interact with me, I do have a book that I wrote that's available on Amazon. It's called Blockbuster Blueprint. It's basically my analysis of how blockbuster stories work. I analyzed 200 of them, more than 200 of them actually, but about 200 examples made into the book, and I figured out what made them tick, and I wrote it all down in that book.
Mm.
So you can check that out. I also have another book on creativity coming out either later this year or early next year, probably early next year. Um, so look forward to that. Otherwise, the best place to find me is right here on the Creative Tavern every Wednesday and Sunday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Uh, Doing creative stuff, finishing this video game, hanging out with Chris, and hanging out with you people in the chat, and
Yeah.
talking about creative art stuff.
Yeah. So thank you guys all so much for being here. Thank you, Agent Goat, for, and Agent Goat says, I give you all my full support for all your creations. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Means so much to us. Yeah, thank you so much, Agent Goat. Thank you, Totoro. Thank you so much, Goat Boy, for rating us, for trusting us with your viewers. And yeah, please come back. Please come back on Sunday and we to see what I do with Michael's amazing level and we'll see we'll go from there. And yeah, hopefully please take care of yourselves, stay safe, stay healthy, stay hydrated, and yeah, until then, take care of yourselves. We're gonna don't go anywhere, right? We're gonna raid,
We're gonna
we're gonna
raid
raid.
now,
Yeah, all
paying it
right.
forward.
Yeah, see you guys later. Have a great week. All right, take care.
Bye.
We're gonna raid, and we're gonna raid Top Cat, and it's for mature audiences.
Sweet. Oh,
All right. See you
I'm a
guys.
mature audience member.
Yeah, me too.